Well, 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 well. You guys didn't think I'd show up, and yet here I am. Less than 15 minutes after I said I'd be here. God damn! You boys out here crack-a-lacking. It's Wednesday, guys. 2025. In the year of our Lord, Donald J. Trump. Whew! Maybe I should stop introing that way. Who knows? Who cares? We're dealing with a fantasy land of Athos, which somehow feels better managed than our real world of America. No paid maternity leave. No federal maternity leave. What are we doing, guys? What are we doing? Okay, well, what I'm doing is moving into the Athos system. I am pretty much done with the themes. Feeling pretty good about it. I really want to focus and hopefully finish today on the Defilers as well. I have a friend, a guy that's going to be playing in the Tuesday campaign that I'm not sure what he's going to play. I think it's a wizard, but clearly it's a caster because he's been asking me about preserving and defiling. So I want to be able to give him that. But outside of that, I'm just chilling, man. I hope you guys are doing really well. I'm trying to think. Like, life has been, pretty full, but really solid. Been feeling grateful. Good amount of work. Good amount of auditions. Some DCP work. Blah, 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 blah. I'm realizing in this moment that I need to send an email. So I might do that as I sort of chat with you. Off screen, of course. But two things that I think bear mentioning that have just happened that are absolutely hysterical to me. One is that I recently stepped in and was tutoring for a buddy who is a fabulous dude. And essentially he and his wife just had their first child. Bugles. Bugles up for childbirth. Obviously not easy to do. All right, not the easiest to do. But I basically stepped in and was going to tutor some of his students in the coming weeks. And that started this Monday. And man, he did a great job of breaking me down on who these students are, where they're at, what type of tests they're preparing for, etc. But nothing could have prepared me for the fact that this first student, who was lovely and gifted and awesome, and whose family is lovely and awesome, but this first student on Monday began the session in the car. Not unusual. Tough place for a Zoom, and tough place to do any math or English ACT work. Kind of need a desk. But it began in the car. And I'm sort of like, yo, Fusco, what's up, baby girl? You seriously, strap in. Get some water. Love you, though. Hope you're doing awesome. Happy Wednesday. Fusco's a legend. If you don't know her, get over there. They do great stuff. And man, so I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, this is the first session with this person. Let's just power forward, be professional. I also know that I'm on the car speakerphone, which is just as well. Like, this mom, this parent has no idea. Yo, Fog, you ledge. How dare you, girl? All the heroes from Fusco's channel coming through. Yo, working and lurking, I appreciate that. Please work for me. Come on, shout out chat. Man, fuck. What is going on with this? Why is it so goofed? I want to be able to shout out my chat. Well, the attempt was there. I love both you guys. But last time I tried to shout out Vogue, it also did not work. Okay, whatever. I need to figure that out. I'm going to try one more time. Just one more time. Just because why not? Why not? Engage? God damn it. Okay, I will make a note to myself to go back and fix that. That is super whack. But regardless, it starts in the car, right? They're in a fucking van. They're moving. They're driving through the Palisades, or probably not the Palisades, but somewhere on the west side. And I'm kind of like, just be a pro, man. I'm also on the car speakerphone because they don't know me, so it's like a great way to vet somebody. How are you dealing with my child, etc. Check out, shout out. Now, while this is a beautiful song, it does not fit my purposes here today. So, the student begins to get out of the car. Amon, what's up, dog? Good seeing you, Amon. I had a character create a Scooby-Doo and Shaggy themed duo in a recent Start Playing game. And I can't lie, Amon, I thought of you, big dog. I thought of you. You are the penultimate character creator. Mini a backstory twist in Amon's world. I love that. But right now I'm regaling you quickly with a catch-up story. Oh my God, share the news for the love of God. We love good news. Dude, we're going for 30-ish minutes, 40 minutes. It's a 90-minute session. That began very roughly because they're like, oh, we can't find the thing. Where's the thing? What are we going to do? How does this go? Shabba-da-boo, ba-ba-ba. We just move forward. Tutoring, English, grammar, going over it. The student's doing pretty well. Then I kind of hear the door click. I click back off of the test prep sheet that I'm on back to the Zoom. And the student is kind of walking through like a parking lot or something. I assume maybe she's going inside, going home. And I'm like, hey, are you, is everything good? Like, are we, you need a moment while you get set up? And they were like, no. And I'm like, well, are we still good to go? There's 25 minutes left of the session. We've been on for an hour and some change. Dude, they were going to the Cheesecake Factory, which, no judgment, maybe a little bit of jealousy from me, but this stopped on its head because they were going to the Cheesecake Factory. They go inside. They don't wait long because it's the Cheesecake Factory, and they are then seated. We kind of pick back up, which is interrupted by the bread landing. And then a couple of minutes after that, God bless him, this waiter comes back and gets their order because they're at a fucking restaurant. But all the while, this student has 2 cell phones, and one is the Zoom with me, and the other is the practice ACT that I've sent them. Honestly, love the parents, love the student. I've only met them once. This is not a complaint, and I'm not trying to dox anybody. It was just unreal. Unlike anything I've ever experienced in many, many years of tutoring and prep. I should have them on. I basically always have that prepped. The superhero game has a set date for session 1. Let's fucking go. It's massive. When is the date? Is it upcoming? What's the deal? So that was 1. Number 2, of course, was the fact that that I began this, this Start Playing prep. I've got a couple Start Playing games going on right now, guys. If anybody wants to play with me or wants to play Cthulhu, please let me know. We're looking for 2 more players. But dude, this Start Playing game, one of them, I dropped it into the artwork Discord, and I actually fucking love these dudes. But they wanted to build a Scooby-Doo themed couple of characters. One of them is straight up Shaggy. Green shirt, linen pants, thin goatee. All the way. The other one, and this dude's such a G, is Frederick. Tuesday evening, so next week I'm on. Absolutely love it. It's great news. It's very exciting when you get a date. I'm playing D&D tonight. Very pumped. But dude, the other one is Frederick. Sir Frederick, a paladin. I was like, cool. Took me forever to realize that Fred is another Scooby-Doo character. I did not realize that. Rounding out the party is a deep gnome edgelord by the name of Night Shadow. That's some fucking heat right there, baby boy. It's like they cast Summon Reddit thread and then made a game out of it. I can't stress enough. That's not a complaint. I was simply blown away. It was very interesting and very cool. Anyway, let's get down to it. Amon, I'm pumped for you. Glad that you have a D&D date. Circle that ish. Circle it twice. But now, let us move in to the Dance of Dances. That's so good. This one sounds like the guy they tried to figure out who is behind the mask. Yes. Yes, there's a fair bit of that. Yes, we are working towards that. Night Shadow. Doves used that name way back. Shut up. Dude, Dubs is fucking hysterical. I mean, Foos, yeah. I mean, no comment because, like, I'm not trying to, like, drag these guys. We had a great time. But within 15 minutes, Night Shadow was attempting to steal from the other two party members. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Listen, the reason I bring it up truly, and I wanted to maybe make a bigger point of this, but it's not really worth it, who cares, is that in the same way that a home game, like the way that I DM a home game is not exactly the way I would DM a game that I'm either recording or live streaming. And that's just for virtue of like time constraints and logistics, right? But then there's a third category, which is a paid game. I mean, this is $35 a session. It's not like it's like a, crazy amount. But it's like, if someone's paying you and they're like, hey, I want to play this type of character, I feel like it's like an easy yes. But it's the first time I've had, someone named Fred and someone named Dreamweaver Night Shadow. First name Dreamweaver. Did Dubs go that deep? Anyway, within 15 minutes, I'm just like, okay, so you want to, I just really labeled it. I'm like, so you want to like steal from your party members that you just met. Oh, man. Anyway, I bet it was a delight. The one time I really wanted to telegraph and like cringy edgelord, I named him Edgeblade. Edgeblade the Black. And he talked sort of like Christian Bale's Batman. I'm not wearing hockey pads. You know what I mean? Oh, thank you, Foos. Yo, Foos, we should maybe chop it up if you're looking for more start playing stuff, because all I really did was apply some Google tags. I basically took my profile on Start Playing and updated it with some Google tags and just sort of appropriate SEO. And did this music stop? Okay, cool. And it's been rad. Like, it's been very, it's been fun. Like, it's been steady. Just have a Cthulhu game that got started. Like I said, we're looking for 2 more people if anybody wants to get spooked. But how do you feel about paid games, Foos? Like, is that something you would ever do? I feel like some people are philosophically opposed to them. I'm an actor, so like I'm like 2 clicks over from a prostitute in terms of, like you pay me and then I do the thing. Obviously, I don't mean that as a burn on prostitutes nor actors, frankly. But it's just something that like, I mean, yeah, like I love DMing. I think I'm good at it. If people want to play me to run it and it works with my world, awesome. But I've had some people be like, oh, dude, like DnD should not be monetized. You shouldn't be paying to play DnD. It's like, I don't think it should automatically be monetized. No one should be able to stop you from sitting down in your friend's attic and ripping a bong and entering Faerun for 4 hours. Every bit of that, from the attic to Faerun, should be legal. I have mixed feelings. I love the idea of them. As a DM, I get worried about boundaries and expectations, but that's mostly because I anticipate jerks. Yeah, totally. Yeah, super disagree to that. If people want to pay to play, friggin' let them. Totally. I mean, I think that's sort of fundamentally where it comes in, right? It's like, this is an exchange that we're both agreeing to. Yeah, I get that. I mean, yeah, the boundaries and expectations, like I think you obviously know like how to maybe have safety tools, how to utilize them, how to move forward with them. But whenever they're strangers, it's a little bit more of a crapshoot because there's no frame of reference at all. Like, who is this person? Is what they consider to be a yellow light the same as my yellow light? You know what I mean? And that's very real. Richter, my prince. Who are you not, dog? You're a hero. So you are. Bugles up. Welcome in, Richter. Good seeing you, dude. Yeah, some rando might be a bit mixed bag. It's also tough because in this case, it's like two people that know each other, another person, and another person, and like no one has really like met or collaborated. So that's obviously my job to weave them in. And dude, within 35 minutes, we were rolling. And honestly, by the end of the session, they were like so down. Like their Discord's been popping off. They're very into it. But I think, and this is just sort of the last thing I need to say about it, is that whenever somebody came back to me with like, yo, can I play Shaggy? My immediate reaction was like, yeah, but can I DM for Shaggy? You know what I mean? Like, this is high fantasy. Are we all going to exist in a world? Does Night Shadow live in the same world as Shaggy? Now they do. But I felt the need to really like bang that out. Where I'm like, hey guys, like, I just want to make sure we're all on board. Like, totally cool with character creation. Totally cool with unique like archetypes if we want to draw inspiration. Like, you guys selected a campaign that is high fantasy. So like, is that our expectation? But dude, I don't bring it up to like beat a drum. I bring it up because like I was worried about it and it actually went pretty well. Okay, I'm going to drop down the old standing desk. I've really been hitting my legs lately in a desire to just strengthen them, work on like, more movement, blah, blah, blah. I'm a dad now. You know what I mean? I got to get ready to beat my son in basketball for at least 18 years. And in order to do that, I need to maintain my lateral spryness. I'm not going to beat a drum here, but I will bang and then hit a gong. I'll bang the gong, and then I'll hit the, wait for it, dong. As in dongle. None of that worked. Erase it. Richter, how are you, man? I loved kicking it with Alex. It's going to be a chat prompt here in a second. But there was a very fun... he was like such a charming dude. Very chill, very serene, but hysterical to me as well. Okie dokie, Mr. Smokey. Where are you? Okay, very cool. So let me pull this up. We're going to finish the themes real quick. And then move on to Defilers and Preservers. I think that I will largely just treat it as sorcery points. You know what I mean? But I want to feel good about that mechanic. Fusca, you're the best. Work and lurk. Don't be far. You should listen to his 2 actual plays. Yeah, I think I would like to. That's on Inspired Incompetence, is that right? I think I would like to do that. Okay. What the heck is this? Cool. Dragon King? This is crazy. Okay. Let me see where we are here. I'm getting into the themes. We have a Wilder. We have a Wasteland Nomad. God, I need a Jast Dancer. That's the fucking shit right there. All right, let's go to Noble Adept and get in there. What is going on? Okay, so that's Wilder. We'll just do Wilder because we're right here. Fuck it. So these are all preservers. I'll just leave it here. You can see what I do. One that has been tutored in the art of psionics. First level. Psychic Surge. This is actually pretty cool. This I thought was sweet because it gives you a better chance to crit. Interesting. I thought this would perhaps remove it. Cool. Action. Range is, whoop, dang it. Action range 40 feet. Ability modifier, psychic damage. Got it. Okay, so you force a creature within range to make a dex save. On a failure, they take 1d8 plus proficiency bonus, psychic damage, and until end of your next turn, you crit on an 18 through 20. Okay, cool. I like things that give you a higher ability to crit. Like, that to me is very, very, very dope. Great. Inspired incompetence. Cool, man. There's my boy. Let's go. Let's go. So where does his stuff start? Damn, you guys got a lot of eps. Richter, can you link us like one of his episodes? You should listen to his 2 actual plays. So does that mean that he does the entire arc of like many, many episodes? Does that make sense? Critical on a roll of 18 to 20. Great. Utilities discipline. You gotta love that. Love a little utility. First, second, and fifth. Great. Wilder's armor. Wait. Oh, dude, I'm in the Wilder, you fool. You fool. Okay, we good. Wilder's armor. You love to see it. Bonus action. +2 power bonus. This is crazy. If you score a critical hit before the end of your next turn, you gain temporary hit points equal to 5 plus your primary ability modifier. I mean, I guess you could do like Wilder's Armor and Psychic Surge at the same time and hope for a crit. Like, is that what they're going for? You know what I mean? That's surprising to me. Adventure Paths campaign. Great. Guys, go check that out. Okay, the stream element. Too many traps is no traps. Check that out for me, Richter. He had a couple gems, and this was one of them. Guys, how we living? Like, how are y'all doing? I'm excited to stream on Friday as well. I'm going to be playing Elden Ring and hopefully, like, chilling. I also have a date finally for the beginning of this Dark Sun campaign. It will be not next Tuesday, but the following, which is Tuesday the 11th. Bonus action. Gain +2 AC and all saving throws until the end of your next turn, right? This is a lot of reskinning, but I like it. If you score a critical hit, you gain temporary hit points. Cool. That's pretty dope. You gain. That's just so random, but I kind of love it. All right, Psionic Shelter, level 5. Cool. No, Psionic, bro. But seeing Sonic, have you guys heard about this new Smash Bros. Game? Oh, no. Oh, no. Did I lose it? Come on. Cool. Yeah, a new Smash is coming out despite the fact that they said there would be no new Smashes. Yet here we fucking are, dog. They lied to us, dog. They lied. Cool. I mean, the lying wasn't cool, but me moving forward in love and peace is very fucking cool. Okay, we got another burst in here. Ay, ay, ay. A shield of force erupts from your thoughts. This one's going to be hard, but that's fine. This is supposed to be psionic. Psionic shelter. I don't really like this one, but we'll make it work. Reaction. That's what a immediate reaction is supposed to be. An enemy in burst. So I think that's got to be a melee attack. Each creature in burst. Primary ability versus... Okay. Okay, this is crazy. Effect, you gain a +2 power bonus to all defenses. Wow. This is buck wild. Are you guys like this? The effect, let me just pull this up. Like, I'm stunned by this. So we're on 81. I need to be on 76. Like, look at this psionic shelter. Right here. You gain a +2 power bonus to all defenses until the end of your next turn. This is after doing 2d8 plus ability modifier. Each time you score a critical hit while under the effect, you extend the duration of the power bonus to all defenses until the end of your next turn. And increase the power bonus by 1. And each enemy within 5 squares of you takes 5 psychic damage. This is bananas. This is B-A-N-A-A-S. This is bananas. Cool. Cool, Richter. I appreciate that. Drop that in the artwork Discord, man. Like, I'd love to listen to it. Okay. Also, I'm curious if any streamers out there, has anyone ever had an issue with updating your category in Twitch? Because every single time I stream now, dear God, because every time I stream, it puts the category as Elden Ring, which, fair enough, dope game, but that's not what I'm playing, dude. Oh, interesting. Okay. Hey, if they're up and about in the podcast space, that works too. So what the fuck am I going to do here? A creature within 10 feet hits you with an attack. You can use your reaction to create a psionic shield around you. The attacking creature must make a wisdom save. On a failure, they take 2d8 plus ability modifier, force damage, and you can push the target back 10 feet. This is crazy to me. Additionally, like, it just goes on as this 5th level spell. Like, what the fuck? This is crazy. So does this stack on top of Wilder's armor? I feel like it would. This is bananas, but whatever. I guess it's only for one turn unless they somehow crit, right? Yo, Root, what's up, big dog? Hey, a blanket seems like a huge task. Is it also kind of like yarn? Good seeing you, man. Or are you using a different material? I'm curious. Yeah, gotta have a good blanket. So we're almost done with the Dark Sun themes here, and I'm excited about that because I really do want to chop it up about the defiling versus the preserving, because it is such a big part of Dark Sun. And in just reading around Reddit and kind of like kicking around, I feel like it's something that trips up a lot of 5e conversion. In fact, I've had a lot of people be like, dude, don't run 5e. To which I'm like, no, fuck that. Like, I want to. But I do want to dive in, read the 2nd edition, read the 3.5, and then read the 5th edition versions of Defiling and see kind of what we like. You know what I mean? Drop it in the artwork, Root, did you? It was a commission, even better. Even better. What was the material? My wife and I are currently having a custom-made couch. Got a bunch of fabric swatches? I'm not sure. Small squares back over there, and I'm pumped, dude. We need a new couch bad, but it's not going to be the most like beautiful thing. Be a little bit rudimentary in terms of its design, but it will be extremely comfortable. And it does have removable, washable cushion covers, which goes a big way in our household. Thank you for the private message. I may or may not check that, but feel free to drop it into the artwork if you want to guarantee some viewership. But either way, Root, congrats, dude. It's not easy to do. Anytime we complete a project, especially one that takes a long time, it really strengthens and prepares us to finish the next project, which I love. Okay. Additionally, this is way too much, but we'll just do it. I mean, it's just way, way, way too much, but we'll still do it. Jesus, you gain a +2 bonus to your plus bonus to your AC, to all saving throws. It's crazy. Until the end of your next turn. Each time you score a critical hit. This is so crazy. While under the effect of this power, you extend the duration and end of your next turn and increase the bonus by +1. This is crazy. Successful save, the target takes half damage and is not pushed. Cool. Okay, what an insane 5th level fucking power, but whatever. Okay, so we have Resurgent Wilder, which feels to me like what they're going to go with. Oh, wait. Right, cool. Resurgent Wilder. That's how it's got to go. Ooh. Which Final Fantasy commander? I have no idea. What are we even talking about? Oh, Magic the Gathering. Love it. Dude, I don't play MTG. I know I would love it, Root. Like, I know that I would love it. And maybe that's why I, like, am avoiding it. I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. Like, I don't know if I can find another addiction, pay for it, give sway to it. You know what I mean? Do I have room for one more addiction? I don't know. I don't think so. Okay, 6th level. Let me just see here. What the fuck is going on? This is crazy. So I just want to get a reference point for how I did this with this other one, for example. I want to make sure I do them the same. Am I a nomad yet? No. So that's Noble Adept. We'll come back to that. That's fine. Templar? No, damn it. Okay. This is crazy. What is this? Noble Adept. I'm not there either. Okay, so Jazz Dancer. Great. Principle of the Razor. Cool. So I made 11th, 6th. Great. I made that 8th. Okay, cool. Just wanted to be consistent with how I was reskinning. Good to know. Yeah, Rude, that's a good point. What? Wow. That was unexpected. Hey, I'm full of surprises. Got a lot of people in my circle that play. I mean, I'm sure I would love it. But it's like, do I have room for one more addiction? I don't think so. I don't think I do. I genuinely do not think I do. Why don't you break us off? What is your expectation of the best commander? Yeah? Level. What are we even working with here? Resurgent Repulsion. Wow. Resurgent. Just to break you guys off, this is kind of where I am right now. Right here. After suffering your opponent's attacks, you strike back. So it's an action. Wow. Wow, this is crazy how much weight they give to criticals. Like, they make the Wilder so critical. You know what I mean? If you do 25 every other week or once a month draft, would be somewhat affordable if you keep it in moderation. Hey, it's a good move. Root, I feel like you're always coming and telling me, though, that like you can't like donate $10 because of funding. Would be the most bought due to popularity. Mechanically, I think it's Titus. Ooh, wait a minute. And 14? Rude, I'm curious what you mean by that. Like, are they specifically making a card that is Final Fantasy 14? You know what I mean? I know there are land cards. Is this a land card? And if it is, that is an incredible call out from a non-MTG player. Come on. Come on. Say it like it is. Okay. Action. I'm honestly over the Wilder. I don't like it. Very, very wordy and weird. Action. Range 40 feet. Okay, so you force a creature to make a wisdom save. On a failure, the target takes 3d8 plus ability modifier. Psychic damage. This is crazy. And is slowed. And the target is slowed and takes a -2 penalty to attack rolls against you until the end of your next turn. Cool. If this attack is a critical hit, the target is stunned. Ah, God forbid that somebody stuns in this campaign. God forbid. Okay, 8th level. Wait, what is this? Like, what the fuck is this? Cloud Terror would be most about to. Okay. Oh, no, that's the name of the characters. Huh. The default name of most of the main characters from 6 onwards had a somewhat worldly name. So you're saying that a character is named 14? How old are they? Interesting. Did not anticipate that. Root, dropping some bombs, baby boy. Coming in here, dropping some bombs. Okay, check this out. Critical insight. One enemy in burst. It's a bonus action. Until the end of your next turn, when you or any ally hits the target with an attack, you can choose to end this effect and make that attack. Oh. You basically create a crit? What the fuck? This is buck nasty. I feel like this will be abused in my campaign. It's also Claire. It's harder for me to say no to her because she's very polite. Shit. Well, I think we got to honor it. Like, we've been reskinning everything that way, so here we fucking go. But that's intense. Root, I really do want to know if a character is named 14. We almost named Waylon 14. It was very close. Critical insight. Bonus action. Range 15 feet. Okay, so a lot of these are very short range, which is cool. To the end of your next turn, when you are any... Dude, this is crazy. Next turn. This is insane to me. But I kind of fucking love it, but it's crazy. Next turn, when you or any ally hits the target with an attack, you can choose to end this effect and make the attack a critical hit. I mean, that can be used with every other Wilder ability. So that is buck nasty. I like it. Me gusta. We also have a Wielder of the Way. Cool. So this is 6th level. They get Impose Your Will. Hope this is cool. You know that I'm DMing this because I'm not like reading these things excited to play them. I'm just worried about how I will adjudicate these rulings in the heat of combat, right? No, 14 is which installment? I don't know the name since I don't know the characters at all because Final Fantasy 14 is an MMO. Got it. Okay, cool. Yeah, man. I mean, Final Fantasy 3, I think I played 15 because Claire gave it to me on the Xbox and I enjoyed it. Other than 3, and what's the big one on PlayStation? 7? Yeah, I expect Cloud to be number 1, right? Like, I fight a lot of Clouds in Smash Bros, and I hate every one of them. I hate every one of them. Every single one. The Final 14 character name is Y'shtola. Got you. Ah, that's funny. You're like, no, it's shorthand that I use. Fair enough. Okay, Impose Your Will. Let's get these Wilders done, and then we'll move on to the Defiling and the Preserving. At which point I am going to need some feedback. Okay. As your weapon strikes home, the aspect of your psyche imbued into your weapon burns into your foe's mind and influences his actions. This is all buck nasty. Interesting. Okay, check this out. Wielder of the Way. This is pretty badass. So the Wielder of the Way is all about like imbuing your psionic talent into the weapons that you use. As your weapon strikes home, the aspect of your psyche imbued into your weapon burns into your foe's mind. Standard action. Check this out, though. Hit 2W plus ability modifier damage. Richter, any idea what the fuck 2W is? My instinct is that it's like 2 times whatever the weapon damage is. That's what I think the W is. Which kind of makes sense. You just double the damage. And the target grants combat advantage until the end of your next turn. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Sounds hard, but sounds cool. Okay, appreciate that, Richter. Yeah, it seemed like the more I'm reading 14, the more I actually like kind of like it. But I know that it's a little crunchy. You know? Some people don't like crunch. Me, I was raised by the captain. You know what I mean? Action. You imbue your weapon with the strength of your burning psyche. Okay, cool. On a hit, great. On a hit, successful weapon attack, the damage die are doubled. Oh, wait, no, plus ability modifier, thank you. Damage die are doubled. Wow. Look at this. Richter, any idea about this? I don't know how much I've seen this, like, but the augment 2. What the fuck is an augment? I mean, obviously I know what that is, but I haven't seen a lot of augmentation within these theme blocks. Strange. Well, that augment 2 is even more powerful, so we'll leave it as it is. On a successful weapon attack, the damage die are doubled. And what the fuck is it? And the target grants combat advantage until the end of your next turn. Attacks against the target have advantage until the end of your next turn. Okay, that is unbelievably powerful. All of these wilder things seem kind of broken. Wow, this is sick as fuck. I kind of love this because I think Claire will love it. Rebind the will. This is crazy. Bonus action. The next melee weapon attack you make with the imbued weapon stuns a creature on a hit. Cool. Okay, that is Buck Nasty. But me gusta, right? Buck Nasty ma regusta. Too deep in 4E. Yes, Richter, my prince. Thank you. You know I love getting that artwork popping off. Awesome. Guys, check that out. I 100% will. Is it up on YouTube? I know that's an odd place, but that's actually where I take in a lot of my podcasting. Spotify, cool. Spotify is also great. Okay, let's tap in. Let's tap in. How are we gonna do this? How are we going to defile? Defilers and preservers. So first, I want to just read the different offerings that we have and see what we think, right? So I think first we start with the second edition, which might not be for us, but Richter was kind enough to hook us up, so it's like we'd be fools to not just check out the original source material, you know what I mean? So that's what we're doing here. Okay, Defilers wield magic with no concern for their dying world. Indeed, Defilers are much to blame for the current state. Even the Sorcerer Kings are not the most dread users of Defiler magic. The Great Dragons, is so powerful that it destroys living animals as well. Wow. All magic cast by Defilers up to 20th level, including all 1st through 9th level spells, destroys plant life only. Any creature in the area, however, suffers great pain. Spells cast by Defilers use all the necessary verbal somatic. The range, duration, casting time, area, and effect, saving throws remain unchanged. When a Defiler casts a spell, all vegetation in the sphere around him turns to ash. So the radius of that sphere depends on two things: the abundance of vegetation in the area and the level of the spell cast. So this is something, this I like. Like, it's really getting specific. Immediately, some thoughts I have. Like, all magic cast by Defilers up to 20th level, including 1st through 9th, destroys plant life only. Any creatures in the area suffer great pain. I don't know that I'll necessarily do this, because I think once you introduce what I'm about to describe, you kind of have to treat it as a functioning mechanic across all issues of combat. But I really, really like defiling and preserving. It's such a big part of Dark Sun. You know, we're moving from classic Faerun Sword Coast into the world of Athos, but as if the actual Faerun, landscape was massively changed. Justifying that by way of magic, like most things in D&D, works for me. But, I like what I was going to say is that I wonder if creatures with hit points equal or below to the spell's level are automatically destroyed. Like, I wonder if a cat with 2 hit points is destroyed by a dispel magic spell. Not because the cat was magical, but because it was a 3rd level spell cast within 30 feet or whatever. But then we get into the issue of like, well, if someone is like down and just got 1 hit point, are they killed by a 1st level healing spell? We'll have to think about that. I do think that there should be some effect on living creatures other than great pain. So we'll come back to that. Defile the magical destruction. Spell level. What the fuck? So that's out because the spell level is insane. 30. Number shown is in the radius in yards. Jesus Christ. Oh, now I get it. This has got to be a typo up here, right? Spell level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 3. It's got to be a typo. Note that these numbers are adjust for specific situations. For example, in a city, the mud pits might have no more vegetation than the stony barrens, while the gardens of a sorcerer king will be equal to a teeming forest. Got it. Oh, it cuts off right there. Well, can just pull it out real quick. Does that do it? Yeah, kind of. Well, I wish I hadn't done that. Damn it, Richter. Damn it, Richter. Well, trust me, after 8 it says 3. Now, why does it do that? I don't know. Can't say that enough. Effects on living creatures. Ash. The ash created by Defiler magic is black and gray, completely devoid of life or life-giving elements. Nothing will grow in an area of ash. Cool. May take an area that's been defiled years to recover life, if it ever does. Okay. A tree of life is a mighty and magical tree enchanted by a powerful priest or wizard. This is cool. The fact that they stand by themselves, almost like living magical items. Cool. Wow. Okay, so these are very dope. I like the idea of living trees, of magical trees. We'll come back to that. The tree of life is a great way to kind of, I think, counterbalance. It's got to be a typo, yeah. I think that's a great way to counterbalance the barrenness and the lifelessness of the majority of the landscape. The use of magical items never causes a defiling effect. However, defilers who create magic items do cause destruction at the time of manufacture. Cool. Potions are drawn from the juices of fruit. I remember reading that. Okay. Interesting. This is cool. I mean, we're not doing it. We're moving on to experience now. So this 2E doesn't really talk about preserving at all. Like, does it talk about preserving here at all? No. Okay, so, you know, this is, I think we might have to leave the second edition and move on. Yo, Covert Psyop. What a fucking name. Good seeing you, Ledge. Appreciate you coming through. Newish to D&D. When you say reskinning old modules, you mean like homebrew stuff you made that can run in 5e? Great question. No, by reskinning old modules, I mean taking like literal old published adventure guides from previous D&D versions. Right now I'm working with one, like what you see on my screen is second edition Dark Sun, provided by the lovely Lord Richter. Shout out to my boy. I'm about to jump over right here to the 4th edition Dark Sun. And yeah, dude, I know I'm in the Defiler, but once we move past that, we just go into experience. You know what I mean? They talk about the Tree of Life. There is some regeneration they talk about, but they don't really talk about preservers. Right? And then we move on to experience. I mean, here's preserver here, but that's really all I see. Doesn't matter. I'll come back and like kick around. The second edition I'm not too concerned with. But Psyop, great name by the way. Like, I love D&D, I DM a lot. I began this process, like obviously you'll have people that homebrew and do some cool shit, make up their own setting, you know, take 5e rules and homebrew the Land of Hyrule and run a Zelda adventure, whatever it would be. Amon, a legend within our own chat, is playing in a superhero, like a Marvel-esque universe, for example. But I was playing a boxed 5e set called the Dragon of Icespire Peak, which is a great like adventure kind of starting module. And, you know, it centers around a dragon, as you might expect. But as the party leveled up, we've been playing for like a year and a half about, they finally got to Cryovane and they took out the dragon. And at that point in time, all these characters, most of which were played by like actors and artists, had tons of backstory, had lots of kind of to-dos within the world. So we ended up playing almost another 3 years after the fact. And in order to kind of take the map of the Sword Coast and not have to homebrew everything, like the cities, the people groups, the people you'll find there, I used an old 3rd edition module called Silver Marches, which is fucking awesome. And it really, really, to me, got me excited about just in general taking badass old D&D, especially from stuff like 2nd edition or 3.5, and taking the lore, the maps, the mechanics as much as you can, and utilizing them in a way more flexible system like 5e. And I've just had interest in Dark Sun for a long ass time. So I'm taking this campaign that we ran for about 4.5 years, and I'm basically justifying that there was this enormous mishap with magic, and that has led to this extreme kind of difference. Like it's a very low magic setting. Casting magic requires you to either destroy life or preserve it. And right now I'm going through a couple different editions, trying to find what I want to port over, if that makes sense. 2nd edition, I think, is out. But let's read the 4th edition one. On Athos, arcane magic draws from the vitality of plants and animals. This act of destruction is called Defiling. An Athasian spellcaster has the choice between defiling and preserving. Cool. Preserving is difficult, requires quick care, blah, blah, blah. Defiling and preserving. When you use any arcane power, you can choose to defile, destroying mundane plant life within at least 1 square. When you use a daily arcane attack... Okay, so this is a feature they're giving all casters. Free action. You make an attack roll, a damage roll. You can re-roll the triggering roll. Defile and preserve because arcane magic has arc in it. I think that's the reason. Yeah, I think that's how they got there. Somebody ground this electricity, damn it. Yeah, a lot of Dark Sun, which again is like, it came out in like 89 or 90 or something. And some people that I really respect that run a lot of games on Twitch and are really good GMs, are also fans of Dark Sun, but are also aware like there's a ton of like oppression, slavery, some really hard like racial definitions. It's a very bleak world, for lack of a better word. So I'm not going to take everything, but I love the idea of classic fantasy, high fantasy, where a world with magic was massively damaged and largely undone by the casting of a huge spell or the misuse of magic. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to have a wizard in this campaign. They basically can preserve, can cast as normal, or they can heighten their spells by defiling, right? And I feel like we'll probably end up using this 4th edition. The easiest and most expedient path is arcane defiling. Small plants and vital nutrients in the soil turn to ash. Larger plants blacken and become brittle, often dying days later. Creatures with whom a defiler shares a mental or an emotional connection, such as allies or slaves, are racked with pain. Interesting. As a defiler draws power. The most powerful defilers can use the act of defiling itself as a weapon. Cool. Preservers believe that preserving is its own reward through discipline. Thus, a preserver can use spells without harming plant life. Cool. The most committed preservers eventually give up the ability to defile. Interesting. I like that. I think that's actually very cool. That's all they have on defiling? That's it? 1 page. Each of these has like a page. Okay. That pisses me off. So here's, 5th edition I know has some more like mechanics, which is what it is. I think we probably add this arcane defiling because it feels very thematic with like all these themes that we're creating and giving to the players, right? So I think I will take this and probably end up using this, which is the 5th edition Defiling, and we'll go through that in a second. Internet was still young. We were all young in the 90s. No wonder they were also low on magic. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, they were dialing into magic. You know, it was limited. They had that magic drip. Maybe there wasn't even a sun. And that's why they called the campaign Dark Sun, because they couldn't imagine a bright one Capicool. Well, I like the metaphor, but there was indeed a scorching sun. I think the dark, and I have wondered that myself, like dark sun, kind of oxymoronic a little bit. But the idea of a dark sun, like a blistering desert landscape that is also very, in terms of morals and culture, very dark, very bleak. Like, to me, it just feels like Mad Max meets like Dune. And I fucks with it. Okay. This is a 5th edition Dark Sun. And you're probably asking yourself, yo, Carpe, why are you doing anything if you can just use this? Well, this to me is a little too easy. Like, check it out. Instead of the themes that we built here, that you like pick and that level up and like grow with your character, you just roll a d20 and you get one random talent or theme, which to me is whack as fuck. So the moment I saw this, I was like, all right, like we gotta get off that. But let's see what they have for defiling and preserving, because honestly, I read through it and it seemed pretty solid. Okay, Arcane Caster invokes a spell. They draw from the life energy of Athas. Got it. Every spellcaster is aware of this. You have to choose. It's an evil act. Good-hearted caster sometimes has to reconsider the stance. Got it. Those who defile can apply a metamagic effect to their non-cantrip spells. Once the spell is cast, the land around them turns to barren ash, and the caster gains 1 or more defiler points. Cool. A caster who defiles even once will track 2 new scores. Her current defiler point score, and if applicable, her permanent defiler aura. I am going to use the aura. The DM determines the terrain. Cool. Whenever you defile, you gain defiler points based on the effect. Okay, great. These points have an immediate and cumulative effect. All points can be shed in one of 2 ways: assuming the taint or meditation with the land. Do we talk about this later? Okay, yeah, we do. This is crazy. You cannot defile if the area has been drained of vegetative life. Interesting. Okay, that's gonna be a constant situation, because it's meant to be a barren, high desert, cracked landscape that I have to assume is like 90% without vegetation. Does that mean that if you are in the desert casting a spell, your spells are weaker? Right? I could see that argument. I kind of like that argument. They created the idea of defiling and preserving, and then just wanted them to be background, like special effects, to the mechanic spellcasting. Yeah. Richter, that's how it feels, dude. That's how the 2nd edition absolutely felt. Was like, there's this thing, it does this, it does that. The Tree of Life is just RP. You know what I mean? But it's very cool. But then here, there's like a little bit of action, right? You make an attack roll or damage roll as part of it. You can re-roll the triggering roll. Each ally within 20 squares takes necrotic damage equal to half his or her healing surge value. Dear God. This damage ignores immunities and cannot be reduced in any way. Unreal. That I like. But it's like, defiling is cheating. Got it. Dune has a Dark Sun planet, doesn't it? The Harkonnen one? Ah. I can't lie. I was zooted for the 2nd Dune. I was just sitting there like, take me there. But the knife fight at the end of that joint, oh my God. I would never want to be involved, but your boy loves a good knife fight in film. Give me one knife fight over 10 gunfights every fucking time. Again, just as a voyeur. No desire to stab or be stabbed. None. But watching a good knife fight? Oh, hell yeah, baby. Another way around it is if you disregard orbital mechanics and have a planet's moon orbit so that the side that faces the sun is perpetually on eclipse. Dude, that's dope as fuck. So I have something similar because at the end of the last... Oh, it's actually in my other... Yeah, when the Confederation of Silver yielded, it said that the moon did not wax or wane, but held in crescent for a fortnight. Totally agree. I don't think it's going to be like permanently stalled out such that there is no orbit, but I do think that this enormous unraveling of the through lines of magic also had an effect, on the natural world, but on the cosmos, on the gravitational exchange between Earth and its spatial components. So yeah, I'm totally with that. I'm curious, how much, Psyop, have you played D&D? And do you DM? Weaker or not enough power to manifest the spell? Yeah, I think weaker for sure. I wonder if, I was going to say that, some cantrips don't deal damage, but that's not too much. It means you cannot use Defiling to boost. Okay. Now, Richter is onto something here, and this is what I've been struggling with, is Defiling only a potential option to, boost a spell at the expense of your aura and, for lack of a better word, alignment, let's say. I feel like it's something like that. Whenever I first was introduced, it seemed that Defiling had way more mechanical choices plugged into it. But let's just look at that, because that's where this comes in right here. I like that, though. Doesn't IRL charisma stat scale with stabbings? That's so great. I'm trying to think. What do we think does scale with stabbing? Definitely your survival score. I'm kind of a mind that your charisma score would plummet the more that you're stabbing people, but maybe not. Psyop might be onto something. I've been in a couple one-shots and started a true campaign this January. I love it. But I've read a lot, trying not to be a burden. Cool. That's awesome. And have you been in all of these as a player? Defiling corrupts you. Yes, Defiling has more options so that players want to use. Yeah. Already the guy who played a lawful good cleric and is now considering playing a wizard was essentially yo, dude. Sorry, I'm just getting a flurry of text. Chonko! Get over here, pup. Get over here. You better see the cutest dog in the world. Everybody prepare. Chonko! Oh, man, he just schlooped down behind me. Damn it! He's close. Excuse me, guys, while 2-week Quagmire gets absolutely blocked. You've been banned, sir. I don't need cheap viewers. I need real ones. Defiling corrupts you, great. As a player, cool. Cool, man. Obviously, we love D&D here. I'm playing in a game tonight. I mostly DM. But I love both. I feel like one really helps the other. Okay, let's tuck into this. Whenever you defile, you gain defiler points based on the effect applied according to the defiling benefits and cost table. Cool. Dope. The number of points you can spend on an effect is limited to half. The number of points you can spend on an effect is limited to half your caster level. Meaning that if you were a 10th level caster, you could use the equivalent of 5 defiler points in a single spell. That's pretty buck nasty. I've never played a sorcerer, but it's my understanding that the majority of like sorcery point usage requires a bonus action, or like I don't think there's a lot of stacking of sorcery points, but this sounds like you can. Careful, choose a number of creatures, great. Distant, got it. Subtle, these are all the normal ones. Extended, heightened. Oh, that's cool. Quickened, these are great. That provokes an attack. Wow. Dude, are you fucking wild? Are you guys reading this? Are you guys reading this? As an action that provokes as an action that provokes an attack of opportunity. This is crazy. You may draw forth life energy to renew your arcane powers and regain an extended spell slot. So you could... That's crazy. Okay. Cast any spell without material components. That's amazing. So here they start, and I kind of want to remove the accumulated Defiler points table because I don't know how much I want my party to know. No 7 TV emotes? Covert, you're killing me because like there's so many. I think you're typing in, I guess, I don't really know, like emoji options, emoji requests. You know, I do have some bongo chongos. All right. I've also got some pretty badass stuff here. This guy, this joint, I'm not going to find that anywhere else. That guy right there, this jaunt, this fella, again, that's one of one, dude. It's one of one. At 41 plus Defiler points, you become an undead NPC under DM control. Wow. Wow. So Defiler points get nasty. They get nasty quick. I agree, Richter. I agree. Cool. Yeah. Okay. This is pretty much all we're going to use. I think we're going to use the 5th edition and then add definitely the Trees of Life. These are dope as fuck. But I want to add this as another feature. It'll be a free action. I think the real question will be how many defiling points do we associate with that, you know, arcane feature. And probably it'll just be 1 or 2, but we'll have to feel that out. Yeah, PsyOp, exactly. Hey, that is the litmus test, though. So I want you to know. You passed, big dog. You did it. You can hang. Let's go. I love it. Anytime, and this is not a big deal because like some people on Twitch that I absolutely love do this, so it's not that big of a deal. But anytime somebody's like carp, like, yo, it's carp, I'm always like, well, phonetically, yes. But it isn't a reference to a fish. All right. It's a reference, of course, to one of the oldest standing puns in existence. But appreciate you getting that PsyOp. Shout out. Yeah, Carpe the DM. I literally was DMing for a group, and I basically, they were like, man, I'm so glad we're able to be here. It was in person. And I was like, yes, you know, like it came together. The schedule fell into place. And with that, we must seize the moment. And somebody was like, Carpe the DM, Carpe DM. And I'm not sure how the riffs happened. But at that point, I was like hearing other people say it. I'm like, that's a great handle. And then I asked them. We got them follow feds. The fellow feds. I love it. Get in and get in quick. All right. Purging Defiler points. A Defiler has 2 options to purge. Remove the negative effects. In most Preserver circles, it is better to die than to defile. Cool. You may purge away all of your Defiler points. What? Really? Okay, what the fuck is going on? At the end of a long rest, you may purge away all of your Defiler points and their negative effects, including any exhaustion caused by defiling. Add half of your Defiler points to your permanent Defiler aura. Do we have... What's up with the Defiler aura? You know what I mean? Like, these seem to be the points table associated with it. I'm not... Oh, here we go. Great. They explain it right after it. Defiler aura. If you defile even once and assume the taint, you permanently gain an aura that, while having no apparent consequences, marks you for those who can detect such auras, such as a druid. I'm going to have 2 druids in this campaign. This is going to be quite buck. Certain creatures and casters have effects that specifically target defilers, and your aura functions as a penalty. Wow. Wow. There is no limit to how high your Defiler aura score may be. Okay, example. Keraz, a 4th level wizard, is being chased by Templars. Although taught by his mentor to never defile, he has nearly exhausted his spells. He knows the King's Garden are nearby and figures just this once to save his life, he must draw more energy than the plants can handle. This is very well set up. He's surprised at the volume of energy that comes at his behest, and nearby a century-old tree begins to wither. Keraz restores a 1st level spell slot by taking on 2 Defiler points. He's limited to half his level 1 points he can assume per casting, in this case 2. He feels slightly ill, then points his finger at the lead Templar and draws even more energy, destroying the ancient yew tree and twinning a 1st level witch bolt, 2 more points at the first 2 enemies he sees. Keraz now has a total of 4, which gives him a -2 to charisma and wisdom checks. Wow, he escapes and finds a safe house, but he doesn't have time to meditate, so he assumes the taint. All of his Defiler points are reduced to 0. And now he has a permanent Defiler score of 2. His fellow preservers need never know, he thinks. This is fucking sick. I feel like I need to go back and find who made this. Let's just go down real quick and see if we see. Who made this? Oh, no, this is by MCP. Okay, shout out to MCP. I was flipping through this. I didn't really, I thought it was okay, but this is quite good. This is quite good, in my opinion. Have you ever fantasized about a different dedicated tool to present D&D information instead of books? I think the book formatting is truly great to make it readable, but I mean like to outplay the having to scroll up and down all the time for synergizing related spells features. I mean, I'm so OCD with data and with consolidation. Even right now, right? I've got 3 editions of Dark Sun up. And I'm basically just like repurposing them into a 4th document. I fantasize about a lot of things, but I can't say I fantasize about that. So assuming the taint makes you mechanically susceptible to effects. So let's really break it down, Richter, because I don't think that's correct, right? Like, assuming the taint gives you permanent Defiler aura, which appears to only really have an effect in terms of RP. You have the dark mark. Your soul has been marked, right? Go back to the aura. Okay. So if you defile even once and assume the taint, you permanently gain an aura, right? Because assuming the taint, like, I guess what I'm saying is, even before you assume the taint, you are mechanically susceptible to the effects of defiling. Because as soon as you defile, the Defiler points table comes into effect, right? But then basically at the end of that day, of that encounter, of that situation, like, they are faced with the opportunity to either, purge the taint or assume the taint. Meditating in an undefiled area of Athos is the only way to eliminate defiler points and not accumulate a permanent defiler aura. I feel like that will be very hard to do because most of Athos is defiled. The caster is giving a small portion of her life energy back to the land as atonement for what she has done. I love in the example it's Keraz, a man, but now like it's a woman that's done the bad thing. It's the land as atonement for what she has done. This takes 1 day. 1 day of uninterrupted contact with the earth or plants of the region per point to be purged. In at least 8-hour increments in which the caster can do nothing else but light activity like eating and drinking. Second sentence. Okay. If you defile even once, then you permanently consequences. Certain creatures and casters have effects that specifically target defilers. Oh, yes. Yes. Great point. Great point. But those are literally only these spells, right? Good point. Absolutely. The aura does also, in addition to regular defiler points, the aura of defilement does have a mechanical effect. You're absolutely right. Appreciate that. And I wonder, new druid spells. Like, I feel like other classes should have access to anti-defiler spells. Like, if you're a preserver, I feel like kind of inherently you have access to, no, hey, that's great. That's great. Yeah, I think that we do need more from the aura. Have effects that specifically target defilers, and your aura functions as a penalty on your saving throw. Got it. That's fucking nasty. Like a defiler that automatically fails because they have a -20 or whatever. That's crazy. Okay, 1 action, 30 feet, 40-foot radius. Also knows the spell makes the ground dangerous to defilers. The spell only affects a creature with at least 1 point in defiler aura. Love it. Should a defiler try to tap into land that is protected by a backlash, she automatically takes 1d6 force damage. This is cool. This is very cool. Cool. Detect defiler ritual for the duration. You sense the presence of defilers. Self. Permanent defiler has less, more, or the same number of hit dice as you. So this is weird because it doesn't have a range for detect defiler, right? A lot of detect spells have 1,000-foot radius. I think that would probably be appropriate here for a first level spell, right? Okay, Richter, that was a very good point. Glad you pointed that out. Information consolidation would have avoided that oversight. Hey, that's a burn. There's a lot that's still being compiled, people. I think this detect defiler needs a range on it. I think that's pretty clear. Okay, last one. Revenge of the Land, 1 action. The life energy of the earth is channeled in translucent arcs of energy that radiate from the seat of the ground at your feet. Self, 30-foot radius. Spell only affects a creature with at least 1 point in defiler aura. This is cool. 48 force damage. Ooh. This is buck nasty. Okay. Cool. That's dope. Stare me when the enemy's lair feature gives me a -20 to my wisdom save. Yeah, exactly. It's like you're fighting a lich, but unfortunately the lich is a preserver. So, okay, and preservers don't really inherently have any mechanical effects outside of RP. That to me feels incorrect. Like I feel like there has to be some sort of defiler effect. Okay. Well, guys, this has been fucking great. It is time for us to depart, but we are going to depart successfully. Okay? Got a lot done on the themes. I finally feel clear about the defiling and the preserving. It's basically going to be these 2 pages. I think that we're going to add potentially, we're definitely going to add more classes that can cast the new spells. We maybe even add a new spell and tweak that a little bit. That's 2. And then third, I think that the defiler aura needs to have more of an effect. I don't know if it's like, -2 to persuasion or deception, something. Like I think whenever you're like are defiling, it's like whenever, there's like a fucking tragedy going on and people are still like, I don't know, celebrating or price gouging or something like that. There needs to be a really heavy clapback that has more permanence than just, oh, you meditate at the end of the day. Yes, dude, that's a thrycreen. This is a like insectoid type humanoid that was added and invented for the original Dark Sun. I actually borrowed from this PDF again whenever I reached out to my players to basically be like, hey, it's going to be normal 5e, but there are some different races. And the thrycreen's intense. No sleep required. They live for like 40 years or something. Their life cycle around 30 years. I would be dead as a thrycreen. It was pre-Dark Sun. Interesting. Richter, come on, my boy. Richter's hot as a pistol today. He's dropping some bombs. Yeah, Psyop, that is a thrycreen, and honestly, I'm super pumped. At least within the lore as I have read it, they kind of came to be almost like they were elevated, like they gained consciousness almost in this great undoing of magic that so defiled the land. That's how I'm definitely going to treat it, because we're coming from Faerun and from the Sword Coast for our previous campaign where there were no thrycreen, and now they exist. So I think it's fun as fuck. Somebody is also playing a Goliath. Damn, that guy can fuck. Someone is also playing a Goliath, which is cool. Where are we at? Boom. Boom. Look at my dude's neck. That boy got a neck on him. Okay, this is dope as fuck. So, defiling and preserving pretty much done. We need a little bit of tweaking, right? A little bit of furthering. But I feel really good. We start not next Tuesday, but the following. So we start in basically like 2 weeks on the 11th. And I'm going to be streaming Friday. I'm just going to be playing Elden Ring and kicking it. But next Wednesday, do I have a... Shit. I have a couple of great Between Two DMs guests coming up. Just make sure. Oh my God. Okay, never mind. So next Wednesday, we have the incredible GM Amanda coming through. Shout out. And so I will have to find a different day to do the prep. That's fine. That's fine. All is well. Cool. All right, guys, this has been great. Scrolling through the art. Yeah, exactly. Neuron activation. Agreed. There's some really good artwork in there. Yo, Covert Psyop. What a fucking ledge. Get in here. Found the right place. Appreciate you coming through, joining us. Richter, you're a fucking hero. Amon, Fuzka, Root of All Beers, Vogel. We got everybody today. You guys are the best. Did I forget anybody? Amon. Amon coming through. Congrats on getting that game lined up, Amon. That's going to be great. Okay, so next Wednesday we'll have another episode of Between Two DMs. Gonna be epic. I will be playing some Elden Ring this Friday and chilling. But I appreciate you guys coming through. Spreading some love. Thank you for the follow there, Covert. Cheers on that. We're going to have another follower giveaway whenever we get to 10 subscribers, which we are one away from. Or whenever we get to... Oh, I guess I have it set to 20 subs? I'm going to change it to 10 in a second. But either 250 followers or 10 subs, we'll be giving away another custom bespoke Coffee Cops tank top. The best. And before we leave, I, as always... really like to raid somebody that's doing Dungeons and Dragons prep. So, if you can, please come through. Give us some love. Give us some drop. We're going to go in with catchy cantrips These people honestly look pretty fucking cool. This guy's drawing a worm of some kind. So if you can, guys, slide over there, give them some love, tell them Carpe sent you. We had a good time today. I'm trying to think about what else I have. Friday I'll be here. Come through if you can. And I'm doing a couple start playing games, so if anybody wants to get in a game with me, it's available. Start playing, and also a Call of Cthulhu option, D&D and Cthulhu. Take your pick. Okay, guys, I'm out. As always, take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. Until Friday.